seems to have a pretty good chin, but he has been knocked down by Marquez with overhand rights. I think it's a possibility that Thurman can drop him in the first 4 rounds. But I think if Thurman doesn't drop him in the first 4 rounds, that he's not gonna be no knockdown.
Was that power the best you felt in your career though?
No, it was a strong punch. It was a clean punch. I was more out of position though. It wasn't like a clean one right on my chin, even though I threw a hook and he threw a overhand right over it, so I was kind of leaning back anyway. It didn't buckle my legs or nothing, but I've been hit with harder punches than that before. But that was a good shot.
And you got excellent timing yourself. You think Keith has good enough timing to time Manny coming in and out?
I don't think Thurman has that good of a timing. He swings wild. He's a wild swinger. He swings like I've seen everything. And but he is good at fighting southpaws. And so it's an interesting matchup. You know, I think Thurman's a younger, stronger fighter, but the style, it's a good style for Pac-Man. And I think that's why the fight is going to be interesting.
And since
I would like to see Thurman go at him. I like to see Thurman go at the older fighter. What's the point of boxing when you're a younger fighter when you could just walk him down and try to hurt him? You're the bigger, stronger guy. I think if he does that, like he came at me the first couple rounds. I think if he does that to Manny Pacquiao, has a good chance of hurting him. But if he boxes how he usually does, and I think Manny Pacquiao is good at cutting the ring and using his angles and landing that left hand. So it's a good fight because Thurman moves good and Pacquiao is good at cutting the ring real good.
how much has Thurman regressed since your fight? I was speaking to your dad said he feels he's not the same. He's not turning his punches as much. He's kind of slacking him. How much has he regressed since your
He
fight?
definitely looked suspect his last fight. You know, he definitely looked suspect his last fight. So we don't
Just
know.
that one? Just the Lopez one? Or I think he had a few after you. It might have
Nah,
been.
that was his first.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Thurman,
Yeah,
right?
was it?
Yeah. No, that was his first fight.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was almost 2 years later.
I lost those.
So is Thurman not as fast as maybe he looks on? Because you said you saw everything coming.
Yeah, I seen everything coming. He punches really wide, but it's wide, but it's fast. So it's like wide, you can see it, but it's a little fast. But I think just because of the styles, it's like an even matchup. Even though Thurman's a younger fighter and stronger fighter, I just feel like it's definitely an even fight because of that.
Danny,
I see the fight ending like in a split decision or like a majority decision.
How about his footwork? Is Thurman's footwork compared to Manny's? There's different ways that they use it.
Yeah, Thurman's more lateral movement.
Uh-huh.
Pac-Man is more mounting in and out, fainting like 4 times before he comes in. So they both, I would say, they both got pretty good footwork. But Manny probably has like overall better footwork.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a close fight. I think it's an even matchup. Like I said before, I think it can end either way in a split decision or a majority decision. I really feel like if it goes to the decision, that I think they're gonna give it to Pac-Man if it goes to the decision. But me, I can see Thurman winning.
Danny, who do you feel is like an advantage or disadvantage? I mean, Manny with his experience and more than double the fights that Keith has, but Keith is also 10 years younger than Manny Pacquiao. Who would you say, and given that, is that an advantage or disadvantage?
I think, Pac-Man hasn't really. I mean, Pac-Man hasn't fought a young guy like this in a long time in his prime, you know. So that's always dangerous. Like I don't. He's been matched up really good, like throughout his career. Even when he fought Cotto, it was like catchweight, you know. So this is a dangerous fight for Pac-Man, and but it's like I said, it's a dangerous fight for him, but it's also a good fight because his style, I think, matches up good with Thurman.
Right.
Do you think it's important for Thurman to keep his back off the ropes? Because you, Sean, Josecito, that's where you guys had a lot of success with it.
Yeah, definitely he has to stay off the ropes. I like to see him keep the fight in the middle, and I like to see him walk to me and take it to him. And I think if he does that, because I think if he does that lateral movement, that I think Pacquiao's going to cut the ring and he's going to get him. He's going to get off on him.
Isn't that dangerous though? Because I mean, not to compare him to Haddon or Cotto, but they did that. I know that was a younger Manny, but when they did that, they got hurt, and then he finished him off. I mean, isn't Thurman's best chance to actually try and do what Mayweather did, what Marquez did, counter him, time him, what is it?
I think Mayweather's just a better boxer, like as far as IQ. So, I mean, you can't really try to do what Mayweather does because Mayweather's Mayweather. Like There's only one Mayweather. There's only one Danny Garcia. So I think the best thing he could do is take it to the older fighter.
Trying to show his age.
Try to hurt him.
He told us at the sit down on Tuesday that he's looking to exchange, that he's gonna bring the fight to Manny. But Manny also told us that same day that he plans to do the same thing because he says this fight is extremely personal, given the comments that Thurman made about crucifying him.
Yeah.
What do you like with both men? If both men walk up to each other in exchange, who do you feel like? How do you see that play out? If it's that type of fight.
It's a dog, like a dog.
Right, dog fight, just throwing down.
I can't see Manny Pacquiao doing that.
Nah.
I can't see him going there and just standing toe to toe at this.
He knows he's 40.
Yeah, I mean, his chin's been cracked a few times already. He's got wear and tear. I see him trying to cut the ring, use his angles in and out, and trying to outbox him to a victory. I don't see him standing toe to toe. You haven't seen that Manny Pacquiao in a long time.
Spence-Porter, Earl Spence, how do you see that?
I think that's an even matchup. I think it's an even matchup. After I seen Spence last fight, he did good, but I thought he was gonna knock Mikey out. I just feel like he did his thing, but he didn't look dominant. Even though he won all the rounds, but he didn't look like how he looked against Peterson.
Did you learn anything in that Errol Spence Mikey Garcia fight? Because a lot of people like yourself just said, well, I was expecting a knockout, but a lot of people, for example myself, I thought that he proved he could box very well, and we haven't seen him do that, not because he couldn't, but maybe because he didn't have to in other fights. But I feel like he outboxed Mikey Garcia.
Yeah, he definitely outboxed him. He outworked him. He did everything he was supposed to do to win, but since he fought a guy who was 2 weight classes smaller, even though Mikey's a good fighter and never lost before, you just expect certain things, especially you just destroyed Peterson, you know?
Right.
Now, if you did that to him, it's like, oh. But it was like, okay, it's like you see something here that you could work with. It's not really what people are saying, you know what I mean?
So
to me as a fighter.
Right, so based off that experience, you would say the Errol Spence and Sean Porter fight is 50-50 in your eyes?
I would give, I think it's a 50-50 fight, but I would give Spence the slight favor just because he's fresher. You know, Porter's been around, like we've been fighting each other, like so Spence is a little bit, but like I said before, I'll get Spence an edge, but both of them throw a lot of punches, both of them are physically strong. Spence is just he hits harder, that's it.
Right.
But I think style-wise, I think it's gonna be a good fight.
Danny, you brought up Errol's last performance, but Sean's last performance was also, there was a lot of questions that came out of that. A lot of people felt that Ugas actually won the fight, a big majority. What do you take from that fight? Did you happen to catch that fight first off?
Yeah, I watched it.
And what'd you make of that performance of Sean Porter and Yordenis Ugas?
I thought it was a close fight, but I thought he won.
You thought Sean won?
Yeah, I thought Porter won. I thought Porter won by. It could have went either way, but I thought he won.
So it was close enough for you to say it could have gone either way.
Yeah, they were both busting each other up. It was a good fight. It could have went either way.
Danny, is there any truth to the Mikey Garcia fight?
It was out on the media. I'm like, damn, I'm fighting Mikey. I didn't even know. I had to make a phone call. I'm like, am I fighting Mikey? Then, long story short, it was offered to him. And we never heard back. So that's where that was at. I only heard about it one time, like literally on the phone. It was one time. Is this true? Yeah, we offered it to him.
Did they mention like any
And then that was it.
small discrepancies as to why he turned it down? Or like?
I'm guessing he just came off a loss. You know, he just came off a loss. This is what I'm guessing. He came off a loss. His first time at welterweight. Then why would he go back in there and fight a dude who just came off a good performance? He was actually one of the strongest welterweights, one punch power. So that's what I'm thinking. But I don't know.
I actually talked to him. I don't know if he was offered that because he didn't know anything about it too. Like he was like you, like what? I'm fighting Danny.
Yeah, when it first came out. I
don't know if he was offered it.
When it first came out, I didn't know what happened. But
he had the same reaction.
But they said, but I did see. I was told they offered him, and then I did see an interview that they did ask him, "You want to fight Danny?" I'm not saying he said yeah or no, but I'm just saying the fight never happened. That's what I'm saying.
Danny, what you
I gotta
say?
grab. I gotta grab a
I didn't know. Just like when it was out, I'm like, shit, I'm fighting Mikey.
Yeah, you guys.
Thanks, man.
He wanted something too.
If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.